Welcome to the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. This series helps you prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam with focused explanations and practical context. For a companion study guide, check out the Achieve CompTIA Security Plus 701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. It is the most concise and complete Security Plus guide on the market, built for busy professionals who want to pass the exam fast and on their first try. You can find this book and others at cyberauthor.me. In this episode, we begin a two-part look at security considerations in architecture design. Whether you're building an on-premises network, deploying to the cloud, or creating a hybrid environment, the decisions you make at the architecture level have lasting implications for security. Today, we'll focus on availability and resilience, cost implications, and responsiveness, three areas that require careful balancing to achieve a secure, stable, and practical system. Let's begin with availability and resilience. Availability refers to the ability of a system to remain accessible and functional when needed. Resilience goes one step further. It's the system's ability to recover quickly from disruptions. In cybersecurity, both are critical because a system that goes offline under stress is just as much of a problem as one that gets breached. Designing for availability means planning for failure. It assumes that hardware will crash, software will break, and someone somewhere will make a mistake. To handle these scenarios, architects build in redundancy. Redundancy means having backup systems ready to take over if a primary system fails. This might involve secondary power supplies, failover clusters, redundant routers, or mirrored databases. Failover strategies are at the heart of resilience. These are automatic transitions to backup systems or alternate routes when the primary path fails. A resilient authentication service might rely on multiple identity providers so that users can log in even if one platform is down. A web application might use global load balancing to reroute users to the nearest healthy server. Backups are also part of a resilient design. Systems should be backed up regularly, and backups should be tested to ensure they can be restored quickly when needed. Point-in-time recovery, off-site replication, and snapshot technology all support resilience. Real-world examples reinforce this. One financial institution designed its transaction system with real-time failover between data centers. When a fire damaged their primary site, operations continued without delay. Another organization failed to implement redundancy, and when their only firewall crashed, the entire company was offline for hours. Availability and resilience are not afterthoughts. They must be built into the architecture from the start. Now let's turn to cost implications. Designing secure, redundant, and responsive systems costs money, sometimes a lot of it. Security teams must often balance ideal architecture with budget realities. Not every system can be fully redundant. Not every backup can be stored off-site. Not every service can run in high availability mode. Making cost-driven decisions is a reality of security architecture. The key is to prioritize. Identify which systems are mission-critical, those that must remain online no matter what, and allocate budget accordingly. For lower-risk systems, simpler controls may be acceptable. For example, an internal knowledge base may not need full-time monitoring or redundant hosting, but a payroll system absolutely does. There are also trade-offs between convenience and cost. Encrypting every transaction, logging every action, and scanning every packet can consume resources, both financial and technical. Some organizations may choose to implement full logging only on sensitive systems or delay certain security upgrades because of licensing costs. However, cost-cutting in the wrong areas often leads to larger expenses down the line. A business that skips patch management to save time may find itself paying for incident response after a ransomware attack. A company that doesn't invest in backup infrastructure may lose weeks of work when a server fails. Smart cost decisions are not about spending less. They're about spending wisely. Finally, let's discuss responsiveness. Responsiveness refers to how quickly a system or team can detect and react to issues. In security architecture, this means building in capabilities that support fast detection, alerting, and recovery. Responsiveness starts with visibility. If you can't see what's happening in your systems, you can't respond. That means implementing centralized logging, monitoring tools, and alerting mechanisms. Security information and event management systems, or SIEM platforms, help collect data from across the environment and trigger alerts when suspicious patterns are detected. But responsiveness also depends on design. Systems should be architected to support live analysis without performance degradation. Logs should be forwarded in real time. Alerts should be actionable, not buried in noise. Incident response tools should be connected to ticketing systems, threat intelligence feeds, and isolation mechanisms. Examples show how architecture affects responsiveness. In one case, a cloud provider built a monitoring dashboard that updated every 5 seconds. When abnormal traffic was detected, engineers were able to block an attack within minutes. In contrast, a small business with no centralized logging discovered a breach weeks after it happened, when a customer reported fraud. The difference was not just tooling, it was architecture. To improve responsiveness, organizations should choose platforms and configurations that support real-time insight. This might include endpoint detection tools, firewall logging, intrusion detection systems, or network flow analytics. Automation can also play a role, triggering containment actions when certain thresholds are met. As you prepare for the Security Plus exam, understand that availability, cost, and responsiveness must be balanced in any architecture. You may be asked to identify which design best supports continuous uptime, or to evaluate a decision based on budget constraints. Expect questions that ask how architecture supports incident detection or how to recover quickly after failure. Focus on redundancy, prioritization, and real-time visibility as your guiding principles. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com. And before you take the test, make sure to check out the practice questions in the book Achieve CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. They cover every domain and are a powerful way to lock in your knowledge.